all the major leagues are on an off-season break at the moment. So it's been an international week, but that doesn't mean there haven't been any fireworks. My, oh my. We head to the Belgian camp where there's been another incident where there was implosion in the Red Devils camp once again. Stay tuned. Let's go.
AG.
So hi everyone, my name is JB. Welcome to another edition of The Mic, where we produce short videos of all the latest soccer content from around the world. So before we get into this, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. So where do I start? So I was just going through some news, looking at the international scores. And then I came across this channel, I was listening to ESPN, and essentially they were going to town on Thibaut Courtois, and that just sparked my curiosity. So it turns out that Thibaut Courtois, the Belgian goalkeeper, had a meeting with the coach. So as it stands, the Belgian national team captain is Kevin De Bruyne, but Kevin De Bruyne was unavailable for selection. So the coach basically discusses with Courtois and Lukaku and said, look, I'm going to use you as captain first game, and then I'll use, Courtois in the second game. And basically he spat his dummy and did not turn up, and he said he was injured. So then there was a back and forth with the coach about what happened with the incident. It became a he said, she said. Let's take a look at what the guys said here on ESPN FC. Let's listen.
During that debacle in the World Cup. Well, it's continued, it seemed, despite the fact that Roberto Martinez has left. This is what Domenico Tedesco, the new head coach, has said about Thibaut Courtois. Together we decided that Romelu would be captain against Austria and Thibaut against Estonia. That was okay for everyone, but after the match, Courtois suddenly wanted to talk to me, and he said he was going home because he was disappointed and felt offended. I wish I could say it's an injury, but I can't lie. Courtois then responded to that. I want to make it clear that it's not the first time or the last time that I talk to a coach about issues related to a locker room, but it's the first time that someone decides to tell it publicly. I'm deeply disappointed with this, but I want to make it clear that the coach's assessments do not fit with reality. In that conversation, I asked him, not for direct benefit, to explain and make decisions to avoid situations that in the past have harmed us. To be or not to be the national team captain is neither a whim nor a random decision. It should be his decision, and that is what I tried to convey to him. Furthermore, yesterday afternoon, I underwent a checkup for a problem in my right knee. The medical team of my club and the national team were in contact and reviewed all the corresponding material to make the decision to leave the training camp. So it's pure coincidence overall. So Courtois basically wants, look, you tell me who the national team captain is. Stop faffing about.
Yeah, but it's at this moment I do that thing I did to Stevie a couple of years ago. I just go because this is up there. I was going to try and compile a top 10 of Man City players that were having the best time after winning the treble. Yeah. This is straight in the charts this year, number one in the Big Baby Awards.
Yeah. Mbappe won it last year, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Baby award,
but I mean, come on. And then he's trying to why would a coach not talk about it? If a coach's decision, it's his prerogative to decide who's captain or not, right? Like it or lump it. But to leave a camp because you're not getting the captaincy, allegedly, it's kindergarten stuff. I mean, it's school ground stuff. It's big baby. It's incredible from a guy who has been, and I get it, he is arguably the best keeper on the planet at the moment. He's certainly been the most in form.
And he's certainly a better player overall than Lukaku.
But that's a coach's decision. And so why wouldn't the coach say publicly? Because he's put the new coach, in a bit of a position here, a big position, because he's basically stormed off when he hasn't got what he wanted.
It's
So
left knee, Craig.
I mean, it's just. I mean, is this?
So you had the guys absolutely went to town on Courtois. I mean, this is essentially what's wrong with modern football at the moment. I mean, all these stars, uh, you can't tell them no. They throw their toys out of the pram when they get told off. They get their managers, they get their agents to come and talk to the director of football, and their parents come to the club complaining in terms of how badly their kids are being treated. I mean, we're talking about a seasoned professional like Thibaut Courtois, where it's like, mate, it's the captain, it's the coach's decision whether you're captain or not. But to then decide to leave camp, it's absolutely ridiculous from my point of view. It's ridiculous. I mean, we've had these guys, you know, when they're trying to force a move, essentially just basically start feigning injuries. We had an incident a few years ago where I think it was Coutinho. Philip Coutinho wanted to leave Liverpool, and Liverpool basically said, "No, you've got a contract." This was January, and said, "Besides, it's not a good time to let a good player like you go in January." And at the time, he had hit peak form, and Liverpool were doing well. And Barcelona had come calling, and then essentially, then we had that Coutinho had a back injury, and it was like 1 week he's out, second week he's out, and until basically twisted the arm of Liverpool until they sold Coutinho, and all of a sudden he's turning up for Barcelona. I mean, this is just how the modern game is at the moment, which is very sad in terms of how sort of like these players, so much talent, so much money, and then they think that because of that they can detect what happens in these clubs. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the coach has the final say in anything that says, be it selecting a captain, tactics, and things like that. I mean, we had one of the most ridiculous things ever when Kylian Mbappe signed his new contract with PSG. There was rumors that part of the contract was that he gets to detect who the club buys and how the tactics go. I mean, it's absolutely ludicrous that these guys behave this way. And to be quite frank with you, this is basically a sad end to once described as the golden generation of Belgian football. I think from I'd say 2018 to 2022, this team was ranked number one in the world, and they've got nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. This is what happened during the World Cup, in-house fighting. Essentially, Lukaku can't hit a bando with a banjo even if he tried. Man can't score. You've got Kevin De Bruyne. Looks like he doesn't like his teammates. And basically now you see Courtois acting like a prima donna, spitting his dummy out just because he wasn't made captain. I mean, what kind of nonsense is this? So now we're looking at the Belgian team basically having to regenerate, and you'd think such a seasoned vet like Courtois would be the guiding light. Seeing as you look at half their backline, Votong and the other guys that used to be anchors of that team, they've all sort of like retired, and you've got Courtois and a bunch of young kids out there, but he's acting like a diva. So, I mean, last time they blamed Martinez and said, oh, look, the coach, didn't have the right temperament, basically to navigate through the stars. Martinez was complicit in the behavior of the team, where during the World Cup, I think the guys at the front said, oh, well, how can we win, with an aging backline? And then the backline said, well, we'll win many games if you guys didn't miss so many chances up there. And, there was so much infighting, man. It just reminded me of the Dutch sides, I think of 96 or something like that. Where it was a super, super talented team, but they could just not get their act together. There was so much infighting. I mean, you had the likes of the Thibaut brothers, Edgar Davids, Clarence Seedorf, Kluivert, you name them, but they could not win anything. So this has become sort of like the state of affairs in terms of modern football. And this is one sort of like episode of another sorry tale. And unfortunately, we have to sort of like bear witness to this. So you guys, let me know what you think about this. Leave your comments on there, your thoughts and comments on the comment section, and then we'll catch you on another show. See you later.